I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. I'm actually building up my forces for each game. I usually get the scenario, look at the scenario, and I'm doing this while I've got washing on. Always pick the best time. I suppose when I'm in the house, get everything done in one go and then out again. So I've cut 4 bases. They're not exactly the same size. I don't, you know, it doesn't catch, the whole uniformity doesn't really annoy me. As long as they're the right size for the tanks. Now I'm doing myself 5 M3s. That's only their base colours. I sort of paint up what way I think I would like them. And then approximate the base, and then stick the tanks on. But you need to keep them at least wider than the actual chassis, and the reason is when you're putting them in the boxes and stuff, these bases can help keep the tank from hitting off the sides, because obviously they're bigger. Then put a bit of cotton wool around them. Now 4 bases, I need 5, because the PSC M3 Honey Box has 3 models, and you can do early war, medium, and late war. But there's 2 or 3 chassis left over, and what I done was took a bit of plastic, so it doesn't give you the base at the bottom of the chassis. It only gives you 3 bottoms, because it's to make 3 M3s the way you want them. So there's a couple of extra tops that I've put onto. I've made my own chassis for underneath. Actually turned out well. Hold on, I'll just get it and show you. Currently still working on it. So that's the one I'm doing there. That's the plastic soldier company. The M3 Stuart Honey light tank. Now, as I say, I think, oh, there's the chassis that I've built up now. These are, you know, the different shapes, the bits that you add on determine if it's late war or early war. Now, as you can see this, it's a bit of plastic. I know the whole thing's plastic, but that's an old credit card that I've bent. I've cut across the reverse side with a scalpel to give it a place where I can bend it, and then I super glued it. You have to use the super glue. Normal glue wouldn't work. Well, I suppose if you had clamps and stuff, yeah. So super glued it here, left it, and then finally brought this down and done the same here. You can see the cut just went right through. I'll cover that over where a wee bit of, hopefully the paint covers are a bit of putty. But that is a spur chassis. Now there's a few in this. I'll just show you. So these are your spare bits that you have left over. Should have been 2 in that because I used it in this. But look at that. I mean, that's a full chassis, full turret. It's missing guns. That's about it. I can make up the guns quite easily. But I'm going to make another 2 out of them. But what I can't say, even if you don't have all the bits and you can't make the bits up yourself or bits of plastic, you can use them for ruins or wreckage. Because I'm going to try one of these as a burnt out wreckage, so I can just swap it with a tank. In fact, you could do, you know, 4 or 3 burnt out packages. That and that if you want it, but I prefer to get more models because I need them for my D-Day lands. There's another half a turret, no gun, more tracks, oil, diesel canisters, bits and pieces that you can use on other models if need be. So I'll do another turret up, throwing on this. I might make another one, just so I can have 5. You know, you can have the ones with your Capitan looking out on 2, so it'll have 2 up and 3 down. And sometimes I wonder to myself, is there any point making these videos? That's why I haven't been doing as many. I haven't had the time either. You sort of say to yourself, a lot of people know these things. Then you think, well, when I first started out, I didn't. And it was handy. I sat and watched a load of videos. Just picking up stuff from them. But I've always worked with models and stuff since I think I started playing war games, yeah, when I was 11. So I started going into the city centre, down to libraries and stuff. Mad into World War II, Vietnam, Burma, right back to Napoleonics, War of the Roses. I went through a phase of doing Napoleonics when I was in my 20s, but it's very hard to find people that have a similar interest where I am. The troubles were raging in Belfast, and I think people are more interested in this side or that side, where I wanted to get into wargaming. But hey, so what I do is I take the base. Some of them, I never done this, I just cut angles on them and then just basically made up the base. But I noticed, I'm not too sure if it was Storm or Steel or another one of the sites, that the guy was sanding the bases, and they came out well at the end, so I'm going to start sanding. The only thing is I have an industrial sander, and I'm sure the neighbours love it. So get them rounded up like that. Don't have to be perfect. You know, don't have to be perfect, but I just think it adds a nice touch to the bases. Just realised there, should have put my mask on. But if you're in front of any ventilation, you open window. Now the thing is, it doesn't have to be perfect, as you can see, because whenever you put your materials on, as in your brass and all your different stuff, So, I was saying sewing basically. You never notice till you start recording yourself. Now, a lot of stuff you don't need, you know. Family bought me this, because I tend to basically use household stuff that I find lying about, old paint that's been left lying about. Now, this is the second time I've used this stuff. It's like a soft, what would you call it? It's not putty. It's a filler, but the good thing about it is it doesn't shrink, it doesn't pull. It's a filler that's quite soft and spongy. It almost looks like bloody ice cream, but it doesn't stretch or pull, you know, whenever you're making up dioramas. Because sometimes if you use thin wood, which I do, I like my bases thin. Just, I don't know, them big thick bases just, ugh, they take away from the aesthetic of it, I think. Now, this stuff is not the greatest for sticking down on the surfaces, but as you can see, look. But if you mix in a wee bit of PVA, it's damn sight better. But what I tend to do is when I'm using this stuff, I prime all my bases after and throw a lacquer glue on. Sort of, you're using this stuff because it's light, soft, easy to manipulate, but as I say, it doesn't really stick to the wood that well, unless you score up the wood. Maybe run a few, you know, blades and stuff through it. I think that makes it. So this stuff I'm testing, because I usually use a gulk, no more nails, just out silicone when I'm making up bases. This is a test for me. I've used it before and the tanks are fine, but it was only 1 or 2 tanks. And I think when you start transporting and it's bumping off things and people are handling it, you might, you know, find that the bases aren't that good or the material's not that good. So you'll find out in a month or two when you hear me cursing and having a rebase. So, tracks. Putting on track marks. Pulling off most of the stuff off the base because it's soft. So now what I do is I tend to put my grass and stuff on now. So if you see anywhere there's a break in the plaster, that's the best place to put it. what you can do is let that stay on and harden. It'll give you a good place for your glue to get a good stick on the plaster. Put it down on the plaster. Now I've done 2 bases just to show you, and I'll do the rest when I've got time off camera. I'll let them dry up. I'll then coat them with a varnish, spray varnish quicker, and then paint them. Greens and browns, bit of mud, bit of this, depending if they're in the desert or whatever you're doing. You can do them sand colour. Because I think the old Stuarts, they were part of the African campaign with the Matildas and stuff. So they're good for both, you know, European theatre and the African theatre. Make sure the lid's well shut and that stuff, it just dries up like that because of its fluffiness. I think that's it. It's just a wee quick, I always say it's always a wee quick video, and then I end up combining them together with other, or you know, a big longer video. So we'll see what happens with this, but you'll see the start and the end of a load of photographs of these guys when I was making them up. Didn't bother filming it. I realised that what I'm thinking is exciting for me is boring for others. So yeah, you'll see how they were built up, and then you'll see the bases being made, and then you'll see them being painted, and then the model being applied to the base and the model repainted. I'll hopefully do it what's the word? Sped up, so you don't have to listen to all the waffle. Alright, thanks for watching this dark video. Just realised it's bloody dark. I'll try and brighten it up in the software. Bye for now. Just realised not very good light there. You're not getting to see these in a proper light. But anyway, so far I have the bases done. You can't really get a good close up. Now you can see the white it tracks, but once that glues on, or glues properly, I've only done them there now. That white is going to be muck. I'm going to do that as big clumps of muck, you know, sticking to the tracks. I have to put a dark tone on, so a tone wash, and then what do you call it? Not gloss it, varnish it. Give it a good coat of varnish all around. That'll give it a chance to take, you know, keep the dark tones from being disturbed when you put a bit of varnish on it. And then I can't really see this. I'm actually blocking the bloody light source. Then after that I will throw another coat of late war colours on it, fix the commander with his colours and blah blah, and then put the decals on, or stickers to people that are not sure what decals are. Probably do it for the Normandy landings, because I've done a couple of late Stuarts and I've done a couple of early Stuarts. So I'll stick the decals on. I only need 2, I think it's 2, maybe 3. I'll do 3 overall anyway, late war, with the colours and stuff, for the Juno D-Day landing one. And then we have so here we have the finished models. I ended up painting the decals on. Couldn't find my decals. I've done them a wee bit darker than what I wanted to do them. Yeah, they came out a bit darker than they should have. I don't like them uniform on the base. I like sometimes to put them sideways, you know, not facing the base straight. But you only do that where, say there's 4, only do it with 1 or 2 of them. Just gives them a bit of a difference on the battlefield. But I think that turned out quite well. Okay, I think in the next video I've got a comet, a stug, and a couple of odds and ends. I don't know, I'll see what I feel like, you know, to build them up or not. Let people see how it's done. Majority of people know, like, you know, anybody that's watching these types of video on the internet are primarily war gamers. I probably have an idea, but I suppose they're probably thinking it'd be nice to see how some people do it, you know. Okay, bye for now. Thanks for watching.